Hello everybody and welcome to Creativity Time, where I hope to inspire you to spend some time being creative and share some fun tips or techniques or new stamp set to you. My name is Tatiana. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. And what else can I say about myself? I've been a demonstrator for 5 years, which is very exciting, and I didn't do card making prior to that. So that's my fun little fact about me, is that I always said, I'm not a card maker. I'm a scrapbooker. Cards, yeah, I love cards, but don't make them. Anyhow, clearly I have found a passion for making them. I did once work in a card shop. It was at Wynyard train station in Sydney, and it was like in the underground entrance towards the station, and I loved it. I loved all the different cards. Anyway, so I now love making all the different cards myself. And today we are going to use the SharingSunshine stamp set. I've got a class coming out soon. My Creative Cuts classes is an online class, so people can join, and we'll be using this stamp set. I used, that was an online class at my retreat that I held last month. It's still last month, I'm like February. Feeling as if it's time is passing. Anyhow, let's flip. I'm going to be adding a whole bunch of other dies and products into this card, just for fun, just for something different. So let's flip. And I've also pulled out, should I say, not come, the Brilliant Rainbow dies and the Laying Diorama. I saw a card, I don't know who created it, but it was on Stamping Through the Catalogs social media, and they did a fun card. They used the seashell stamp set, but I really liked how they used these, so I thought that would be fun to coordinate into our project, and that is as far as I've got. So we are going to probably use that one, and then these two. Yep, I'm happy with that. And we will use the little rainbow. Oh, upside down. That's that one, so that's that die from that set. And we'll also need the layering circles, which I didn't pull out. Where are you? There they are. And we'll stamp the sun. And I found, is it that one? I want the sun to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to use the second smallest circle die. And no, let's use that one. So, and we'll fussy cut that out because that's fun too. You could also cut out a circle and use that for the rays of the sun. I really like fussy cutting that one out. And what color background should we go? I'm going to go with Balmy Blue. So here's my Balmy Blue cardstock, and let's prepare our card base. Put that to the side. And I'm going to cut the cardstock in half, and then score that in half to create our card base. And for the card front, we will need, I'll do my usual, so 5mm, a quarter of an inch smaller than your card front. So trim that off. That'll be for the card front. And we'll need that spare piece, so don't throw that out. And I'll just check. Aha! I've got some pre-cut card basic white cardstock. That'll be good. And we might stamp on, what's my favourite yellow? Daffodil Delight. So we will stamp the sun. Yeah, that's a perfect piece. In Daffodil Delight, on Daffodil Delight, just to make it all yellow. And now we need some cardstock for our rainbow. And go monochromatic let's go monochromatic. And do we have a preference? Do we have enough people to vote? You're all very quiet. Now I'll pick the. We're going to go with pink monochromatic. It's Melon Mambo. I'm not sure about the Magenta Madness. Definitely the polished pink. Magenta Madness is more of a blue pink, I guess you could say. Petal pink. And where is that blushing bright? There we go. There we go. I like that. So we need to die cut our rainbow from that. And yes, I will end up with 4 of each because you'll see what I mean by that. But I'll be able to use the scraps for another colour. So that's always good. Let's pull out bits of cardstock in each of those. These. Throwing my scraps across the table. That's not helpful, is it? And that one's there. Okay, and we will need the big one, big Stampin' Up machine for that. So we'll start by using it straight away. We're going to start with die cutting our rainbow. I've got Big Bailey, and to create the ombre rainbow we need to die cut the rainbow because it's one solid die. Cuts all 4 arcs at once, so we're going to have to cut each one separately, but as I said, I will use the leftover arcs. I'll have 3 leftover arcs from each color on another project in the future, so that doesn't matter massively. So that was the darkest one, and we want the biggest arc from that, so I might as well just place that bit down. That was not Mango Melody, Melon Mambo. And this one is polished pink. Side, and from the yellow we're going to die cut that circle for the sun face. We'll need the rest of leftovers as well. And now from our Balmy Blue, take the Balmy Blue card front and the biggest layering diorama die. It would be good if I placed it the right way. And die cut that. Now you could even, because this is where it's going to go, we can even cut this one out from here, but the little one, because I'm going to layer it on top of that, I don't want it cut through. We're very clever. We could do this in one run through the Big Shot, not the Big Shot, through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. There we go. Is done. So all the die cutting is done now. We need that piece. We don't need this piece, but you could use it on another project. And these two, because they layer quite nicely, we're going to layer them. So taking my card base, holding it, I did score it, but it's always nice to burnish the scores. It keeps the card flatter. And that will go there. And then that will sit in the middle, over the top, creating kind of like a texture. I like it this way. Yes. And before we stick that one down, I'm going to take Balmy Blue ink and let's take the 3 little dots. Hello, Megan. Long time. I hope you're doing well. Were you affected by the recent floods? I hope not. That was crazy. Really crazy weather. Okay, so I'm going to stamp some Balmy Blue dots, and I'm stamping off as well as stamping in full strength. Ooh, that one didn't stamp very goodly, as my kids would say. But I'm going to do it on an angle. I'm not going to cover it in dots. And I'm going to add some dots to this as well. I don't need to do too many in on that one because we're layering it. Yeah, Megan says she had a river down the side of her house. Oh, wow. But nothing inside, so we're all good. That's good. Hello, Priscilla. Really? It's pouring rain in Sydney. Crazy. I've got to say, it was raining here yesterday, but it's sunshine today. I'm sorry to kind of share. So I like that. And that will go as so. So let's, if you've watched me enough, you'll know that once I'm ready with the piece, I like to adhere it down. Otherwise, it can be on the desk, lying around, I can lose it, or I can accidentally get ink on it. So once I'm confident with something, I like to just place it down. And this one, we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of that before we add it. So you could also, you could just glue that down first and then add the dimensionals. Or you could do both. It doesn't really matter the order too much. It's just placing that vaguely centered. It doesn't really matter. And with this one, we're going to add the dimensionals. And because I don't have the same wiggle room, here's a fun tip. I want to make sure I've lined this piece in the center of that one. So I'm going to add a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. Chloe Evans taught me this one. And that gives me some wiggle room on the dimensionals. But I still get the benefit of the height from the dimensionals. So isn't that a fun little trick? Okay, now I need my circle, and I'm going to mount that stamp, and I decided on these pointy rays. Circle, good there. I need a bigger block. Oh, my blocks are being blocked by mounted blocks. Okay, and I said this is Daffodil Delight, and we are going to stamp the rays. The rays are in Mango Melody, but the sun we will stamp in Daffodil Delight, on Daffodil Delight cardstock. Sometimes we forget that we can stamp on colored cardstock. It's not just... And I really love the texture in this stamp set. I love that it's not just a solid circle, that it's textured. And now the Mango Melody. Bing, bang, boom. And we, of course, or not of course, but because the stamp set has this feature, a little smiley face, we are going to add a little smiley face. We'll do this one. I often use this one as a moon. So I do have the online class coming soon with this, and one of the 3 projects is a moon one. So they're not all about the sun. And that's what I love about this stamp set, is that you could be a bit versatile. I've also seen Jessie Holton from Victoria, she did a Hungry Caterpillar card using the round circle from that. It's just genius. Well, aren't we all guilty of that, Megan? We all don't use our stamp sets enough. And I'm going to place the sun face not in the middle, but more a little bit up, you know, for something different. And then what I really love doing is taking the single circle dot and creating some cheeks using that. And what I'll do is use Daffodil Delight again. I know I've just stamped Daffodil Delight on Daffodil Delight, but trust me, it comes out. See? A little cheek, and do another one right there. So you can see it layers, the inks layer on top of each other, which is fantastic because you can create a bit of depth and tone. And now we need to quickly fussy cut this. So my recommendation is to cut down and then cut up and snip off. It's a bit easier if you have less cardstock to deal with. Gives you the nice sharp corners tips. I did say I have a new class coming out, Megan, finally. Not the strawberries. I am still working on the strawberries. I have a mental block on the strawberries. Isn't that crazy? I love the strawberry stamp set, mental block. So I thought I'd keep going. The reason why I have this class, so it's the Sharing Sunshine creative cuts. Hopefully next week I need to photograph, and we've had some rainy days, so I haven't been able to photograph the projects. But the projects are all designed, and they were designed for my retreat. So there's the retreat that was last month was all rainbows, and I saw this stamp set and went, that would coordinate quite well with rainbows. So there's a bit of a coordination in today's project. This is not one of the projects in the class. This is kind of like a bonus inspiration. And the details will be out soon. So we're going to add the circle on top, and let's use dimensionals for this as well. We have our sun, we have our sky kind of, and now we need our rainbow. And I want this rainbow to be popped up. So I'm going to share a little trick, another trick. I need to grab a foam adhesive sheet. The heart. Last whole one I have. And we're going to run it through the die cutting machine again. Well, not again, but we will run this one through a die cutting machine without any paper. So this is my way of using it. Because if you stick the paper down, and I want the 4 colors of the rainbow, I mean, I'm going to have to stick 4 sheets of colored cardstock down, and then the scraps are wasted. Can't use it. If I show you here, if I die cut without the cardstock, it means that I could use these skinny little strips anywhere in another project in the future, and or anything. So I literally only ever die cut this without the cardstock. Even alphabet dies, because then you can peel them back and then you can use them on projects where you need a big sheet instead of 1,000 little dimensionals, but you're not wasting this whole sheet. Hope that makes sense. Oh, let's just bring Bailey in. And we only need to, and that means we're only having to die cut this once, and it only gets stuck. Yeah, I like doing it this way so that there's less waste and more opportunities for the foam sheets. As you can see, they kind of stay in there when you remove them from the die cutting, and that is an advantage we're going to take. So if I zoom in, can I zoom in? Is it letting me zoom in? No. Nope, can't see the screen. Okay, oh, I can do it manually. Sorry. Okay. Didn't lock it in place. Probably should lock it in place. Okay. So hopefully you can see I've got all the bits there. So I'm going to peel off the top backing. I'm going to take my die cut and place it in. And because it's foam, it's kind of grooved down a bit. So it's really easy to layer that in and repeat with each color. It's a little bit more extra work, I suppose, than compared to sticking down 4 sheets of colored cardstock and die cutting them out. But I keep going back to there's less waste. And you're not wasting that other bit of cardboard, because who knows, you might want to use you can also use the negative rainbow in that, so that wouldn't be wasted. And now we can pop each of those out. And they're all popped up. Come on. Come on. There. I'll just lift the camera back up. And now we can play around with the position of things. Now, of course, because I popped that up, it's kind of popping things up, but it's got adhesive all the way around the whole arc. So actually, I'm going to remove, well, should I, shouldn't I? What if we did the rainbow down here? That way it's got more of a flat surface. If not, I can always pull that off and place it down. Yeah, I'm going to pull that up, and to do that I am going to use my take your pick tool and the little spatula. So there we go, dug under. Now I can peel these off, and we're going to use the same piece, we're not wasting it. 3-dimensionals perhaps wasted, but that's okay. There. Adhesive. Oop. Rotate. There. Much easier. And now I can place my rainbow. So note, I'm trying to follow that same angle that we created with the little dots. And before I stick anything down, I want to add, let's make this a birthday card. Happy birthday. And thinking. say happy birthday sunshine, which would be really cute. Potentially even mount that together. Excellent. I'm just thinking there. Yes, love that idea. So we'll need a piece of balmy blue. Conveniently, we have one here. Yeah, I was umming and ahhing whether we should heat emboss this, but we've got enough dyes going here. Let's not go crazy. So I'm going to stamp that so, and now I'm going to trim it. And I can make it more straight. Happy birthday, sunshine. What was that? We could use yes. So I've just used the Banners Pick a Punch. Of course you could just cut that, but I don't know, mine never turn out nicely. So I prefer using the Banners Pick a Punch. I'm just might punch that out again, just so that it's closer to the wording. So trim. Just making sure I'm cutting straight. Then punch that one more time. There, that's better. Okay, start with positioning our rainbow. So all I have to do is remove the backing. Now, if you're not confident with the stick and you want that wiggle room, add a little bit of the multi-purpose liquid glue on the back of this before sticking it down, like I showed just before. But I'm fairly comfortable, confident, perhaps even capable. We're all capable. It's about confidence. And the birthday could cover just the tip of those rainbow arcs. So if they don't line up perfectly, it doesn't matter. Shh, don't tell anyone. All hidden. See, and we'll put dimensionals on the back of these. Where did I put them? There they are. No, that's the black ones. Haha, found them. And I'm placing them more towards the bottom, just so that it can sit over that rainbow. And I'm lining up that edge with the edge. And our sun will go here. Happy birthday, sunshine. And we haven't stamped the inside or the envelope, and we didn't need to really stamp these layers because they got all covered up. But you just, if I didn't stamp them and I would have wanted them stamped, you know, that kind of idea. But before I stamp the envelope, I'm going to bring in some bling. My absolute favorite rhinestones, the iridescent rhinestones, basic jewels, because we need some. And we're going to add one medium one over here, two, got a bit of fluff attached to it somewhere, and a small one, 3, 1, 2, 3, and bring it up over here, 1 and 2. Some sparkle, and I love hiding them amongst the dots so that it kind of blends in but sparkles a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So cute. And we need the insert, and we need the envelope. Let's stamp. Start with the rays. That's in Mango Melody. Stamp that there. And I'm going to go a bit different. Bottom left corner today. That's not my usual style. It's nice to mix things up a bit, isn't it? And I'm going to just line up that into the middle. Keep that open for the cheek. Keep the cheeks, and where's the face? See my dot? There it is. I'll add the face in on both as well. So that's in Memento black ink. Close my ink pad, and I didn't say where's my ink pad, I said close my ink pad. The replay of all the play is catching up, and I just happened to notice the captions. Isn't that funny? Happy birthday, Sunshine. Don't you think anyone would love that card? So there we go. It's always handy to have birthday cards on hand. So that is the project for today. Let me bring it up here. As you can see, I'm also wearing my rainbow t-shirt, which I bought especially for my Rainbow of Happiness retreat. That is it for today. I should have probably mentioned that today is the last day for celebration. So if you want any of the beautiful celebration products, you should place your order today. $90 spend and you get to pick one celebration item. 180, so double that, and you can pick 2 celebration items or a 1 celebration item that is bigger. There's a beautiful sentiment stamp set, or there's a bundle of a stamp set and some designer series paper, so you can take your pick. That celebration ends, so everything I've used in the class today or in the session, the Creativity Time session, is available at my online store, and I'll put the link in the video description. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that I have inspired you to be creative, and please share. If I have inspired you, please share with me if any inspiration, whether it's from this video or any of my previous videos. I love connecting with my followers and viewers and seeing what they create based on what I share. Bye for now. See you next week.